Welcome, everyone. Welcome to this evening's episode of Web Tools TV. And today we have power user Gail Gardner, and she's going to talk about Canva. Welcome, Gail.
Hello.
Seems like we've done this before.
A few times.
I don't know, 2 or 3 times, but you do such great demos. So I'd love to have you screen share and show what you do with Canva.
Sure. I'm going to switch to screen sharing. We'll see how long it takes Google to get it going. Let me know when you can see something.
I can do that. In fact, last night we kind of mentioned Canva a little bit. We were talking about social profiles.
Yes, they have templates for all the typical social networks.
Well, okay, now I see your screen.
You see me? Okay. So I'm switching over here to Canva. You see Canva?
Yep.
Okay, so you just asked about profiles. So basically, this bar right here, you can scroll. As you can see, they're suggesting that we should be making Valentine's Day cards. And social media is kind of a generic size. It'd work well on Pinterest.
What do we use that for, the social media one? Is that just kind of an anything?
That's not a bad size for Pinterest, this one or this one or this one. Pinterest is better to be tall and, you know, rather than just like the Facebook cover one.
Okay.
So anybody that hasn't been to Canva before, the first thing you have to do is decide what size you want. And you can't change the size of the image within Canva once you choose it. So you need to know what size you want it to be, the finished image to be. And so some of these things, they help you out. So this one says Facebook cover. This would be the size that your Facebook cover would be. And so this is the size they think a Facebook post is optimum at. Instagram post, blog graphic. This is 800 by 1200. So that would not be the image that like someone like me would typically use at the top of the post. This would be an image that you'd move a little bit down further in a post.
That makes sense. Would you use something that's more horizontal, like more of a Twitter size for the top?
That's why I'm scrolling across to see what else is in here. So here we have the Twitter post. Basically, there are a lot of different places will give different sizes for Twitter. What you have to remember is that the optimum Twitter image is twice as wide as it is tall. And the reason for that is that is the trying to think of the official word for it. That's the, what do you call it? The
ratio or the
there you go. The ratio that fits on Twitter. If you were to say use this instead, the top and the bottom would get cut off. Aspect ratio, that's the phrase I was trying to find. Okay, so the Twitter post, this says 1024 by 512. You could use 600 by 300 or 880 by 440, as long as it's twice as wide as it is tall. And so since I'm very heavy user of Twitter, I tend to use this roughly a twice as wide as it is tall image at the top of my blog post, because that'll work in all the other social networks. It's not optimum for Pinterest. Pinterest, it's better if you use a tall one. Think of like an infographic. But any image catches the eye. So I feel like that's a good compromise for me if I don't want to make individual images for every site.
So assuming that someone's like you and they use Twitter a lot, then that's what you're saying as far as if you could only use one size, that's a good size to use.
Right, yeah. If you want to keep it simple, you're new and you don't want to get yourself confused, you could just make one image. Like I do a Twitter size image, I actually use 880 by 440 by setting a custom dimension right here on the right. I don't know if you can see my arrow pointing.
Yep, it's blinking.
Right, so I actually choose that and set it to 880 by 440. And,
which, that's really handy. Like, what was it? We were talking about the LinkedIn profile image, and we were talking about Facebook groups. And, you know, if there's anything out there, you can just go find the dimensions and put it into that custom dimensions.
Right, yeah, you can use your own dimensions. There are infographics available that tell you what the current image sizes are for all the different platforms. Here's a Twitter header. And see, that's what I'm saying. The good thing about Canva is you don't have to remember and you don't have to go find the infographic that says a Twitter header is this size and a Facebook header is that size. You can actually just come in here. So that's the Twitter header. Here's the Google Plus cover. There's the Kindle cover. And so and there's a Facebook ad and a Facebook app. So all of these have different sizes, and you don't have to remember them. You can just come into Canva and click on something.
Now, Gail, I'm curious. Okay, something that I do, and I don't know if I'm the only one that does this or like how you handle it, but sometimes I've done so many different versions of graphics, I don't know which one's which once they're created, unless I go in and download it and then look at the dimensions and go, okay, that's what it is. I start naming them according to what they are.
Right. There's two ways to handle that, and we'll discuss both of them. Let me go ahead and go. You have to choose, before you can do anything, you have to choose something. And so you can either click on one of these things, or you can set custom dimensions, as I mentioned. So I'm waiting. It always opens in another tab. A lot of sites do that. I don't really know why. Viral Content Buzz does that too. Don't really know why. So I'm waiting for it to load all the good stuff that's in Canva. So here we go. This is the size that I chose, and this is where you're going to build your image. And so there's various ways to go about it. If you wanted to use a layout, like one of these layouts, for a layout you just click on it. And each one of these, I like how it says $1. Most of them are $1. I don't know why it just has a dollar sign on it, but these tend to be $1. You can tell if you're using something that costs money, partially because it may have either $1 or just the dollar sign on it, and partially because it will have the watermark that says Canva on it. And so these are an easy way to make a fancy image if you don't have a lot of graphic skills and you don't have a database full of images to use. You can just do this, and then let's say that you made a dessert, or you were growing strawberries. You could type over that and put organic, and I'm gonna see how it's saving on me. That's because I left it before I finished doing it. This is the trick. Okay, I'm trying to get it to let me do the second word. There we go. Organic strawberries. And you see that it doesn't change the image size. So if what you want to type won't fit in there, you have to click on this. And this is like a lot of sites. They have just kind of like the way Word works. You can change the sizes right here.
Yep,
I went too small. So I'm trying to pick a size. And so you can see I'm just changing the size. So 42 is too big, and I'm going to go back to 36. And so what I do is I click out here to make that go away. And so now I can change the organic part. I'm going to try 48. There you go. All right, so it says organic strawberries. So you can pick any one of these backgrounds and then just change the wording. You can also delete stuff that's on it. So before we go that far, I could choose the words and say I want that to be green instead. And there it is, it's green. That actually looks better to me, I think. I like
more contrast.
Yeah, I like green, more contrast. And so any of these things that you can put over there, you can also change. If there's a trash can thing there, you can click on it and hit trash. And like now, now you can see that the square boxes around this circle. So I could trash the circle, and now I just have the picture. And so you have total control. The one thing you need to remember, though, is if you're going to use one of these layouts, you have to pick it first. If you build something over here and then you put a layout on top of it, you're going to lose what you built.
That makes sense.
Okay, so first you decide, do I want to use a layout? And let's say you don't have, there's a free one. Sometimes they're free. And so that's just a quote. So you can pick a layout and then put a quote on top of it. But let's say that you have your own image and you want to put the image in here. You can go to Uploads, and you can see I've uploaded some things here.
Yep.
Now the thing to remember is if you're going to use an image you've already got, it's a good idea to start with the background, the final image, the size of the image that you're trying to use as a background. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, so you grab a free one then to use as the background.
Right, so see how I took an image I had and I turned it into a background?
Yep.
All right, so the way that image got in there is I acquired it from another source. That actually came from Pixabay. And I clicked upload right here, upload your own image, and I uploaded that image, and now it's in there. And I uploaded all these images that are sitting over here.
You can also
And so
pull
I
them from Facebook too.
say that again.
You can pull them from Facebook.
I don't think so.
If you go up right by the upload, you can click on Facebook and it'll pull whatever you have in Facebook.
Oh, okay. Yeah, hang on a second. Upload. Yes, it'll pull images from your Facebook.
Yep.
I don't think it'll pull images from anybody else's Facebook.
That's good. I wouldn't want people pulling.
Actually, I haven't tried that. But yeah, that's a good thing to know. So you can upload your images, and then you can turn them into backgrounds. I do that quite a bit. Sometimes I'll build an image so that it's more than one image, right? So I could tell it I don't want this other background anymore. Now I want this background. And it's actually a bad idea to make things bigger. It's an okay idea to make things smaller, but it's best not to make things bigger. You know what I'm saying?
Pixelation.
Yeah, it sometimes causes some. It doesn't always affect the ability to be a clear image, but sometimes it does. But what I like to do is I will upload an image. Maybe I'll use their background. They have backgrounds right here, and so you can just click background and click one of the free backgrounds.
I like that green one.
I'm going to delete the quote that I got from that other background. Okay, I got to delete all the pieces here.
Now, Gail, while you're deleting that, if you use, like, let's say you use something that costs $1, and then you end up covering it up with everything else, will it still charge you the $1?
Yes. The way that it works is whatever is on the final image, when you try to save it, is what you pay for. So you can play it all day long and put stuff over there. So let's say that if you don't want to cover it up, you want to delete it.
Right.
Just like I just deleted a bunch of stuff. And so what you need to know about the free backgrounds is that they're the color and the pattern.
Mm-hmm.
But you can change the color right here. You can pick any of these colors, or you can pick the plus and pick any color you like, just like that.
And it keeps that texture, that pattern, stays there.
Keeps the pattern. Right, and so if you want a different pattern, then you click on it. When you click on it, you're going to lose the color. Like, say you found the perfect color, write down the color code, because when you click on a different pattern, you're going to lose that, and then you're going to have to find it again. But so you can start with these backgrounds. If you have, say, a white image, an image that's not transparent, you know what transparent means, right?
Yep.
Okay, so some people may not. Normally an image, let's say we had a picture of a cat, it's on a white background, so there's a white square with a cat on it. To make it transparent would get rid of the white background so that you could set the cat on top of a picture next to something else. Actually, I probably should show you, but I was going to say these lighter colored backgrounds, these whitish ones, can kind of make that effect less obvious.
Sometimes people use the term cutout.
Is it? Yeah, I guess so. Cutout.
That might be an old term, but.
So I'm going to pull down. So what I mean is if I put that image over there on a white background, especially if it's not very big, it wouldn't be so obvious. Yeah, if I do that.
Hungry.
Yeah, these are my favorite candies, and they're having an 8-day contest, by the way. It's called Ocho Candy, O-X-C-H-O, and they're on Facebook giving away Ocho candies. Yesterday they gave away a case of my favorite. Wow. The coconuts with the dark chocolate are my favorites, but the peanut butter ones are to die for too. They have really great chocolate. It's organic. But if you want to use an image and you don't know how to make a transparent background, choose a white background. Say, a lot of people might not notice that the background's not there, or get rid of the background altogether. I'm going to trash the background, say, and then you can put stuff over there. And if it's got a background, see, this one doesn't have a white background behind it.
I'm trying to remember if Canva actually lets you save transparent. I'm not sure if I've tested that.
I don't know that they can create it. I think you can use transparents, but I don't think. See, I had that problem where I created something. I had this image on it, but it's not transparent. So just to clarify, transparent means there's no background. Here, I'm going to make it a different color so it's obvious. It has a big white square around it, basically.
Right.
And if it were transparent, it'd just be the candy bar or the cake without the white background, so that this background would come right up to the edges. And so if you're really good at graphics, you know how to change them into transparent.
And re-upload them.
I'll get Julie to teach me that one of these days, but so far I haven't learned to do that.
You can do that in most programs, like in Photoshop. If you open it, you just click the white, hit the backspace, it's gone. Then you re-upload it into Canva, unless there's a trick in Canva on how to do that.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know of any tricks in Canva to make them transparent, and nothing about Photoshop is easy to me, so that sounded easy, but Photoshop is a trick. Now, what I was going to say, the trick to saving images, especially have multiple different images, is that you should save them. Like, let's say I'm going to do uploads again. All right. So let's say I did wanted something bigger. I should have stayed down here where I was. Okay, let's use Da Vinci's photo here, and I'm going to change the background. That doesn't look good with that. All right. Should be something more. It clashes. I'm trying to get one that doesn't clash, but I'm not doing a very good job here. That'll do for now, for concepts. Okay, so if I made this image, and I already know what size it is, I could save it, and you notice it's still saying saving. You shouldn't download until it quits saying saving. You also, let's say that you were adding text, and you called this strawberries. Can't see what I typed until I move that over. I know it's got typos in it. So
that's okay. We're not going to judge. That's fine.
I'll make it bigger so I can type better. Strawberries. Okay, so this is where you can change the font. We talked about that. This is where you change the size of the text. And just like in other programs, you have to select what you want to change. This changes the size of where the text goes. So if I squished it, it would have to wrap like that. And so that's handy. So if I wanted to put strawberries, I might put strawberry cheesecake. I could either put a space there and make it another line manually, or I could just move this to make that go to the next line. But the thing to remember is, right now, if this stops saving and I download it, these words are not going to be on that image. And so that's something to remember. Right now, if I download this, the words will not be on there. I have to make that box go away and let it save. Then I can download it. And what I do when I download is, a lot of times, if I want to make a high-res image, a higher quality for Twitter, I will choose my Twitter size, and then I'll save as whatever I call the image, .png for the high-res one, and then I'll resize it and change it to a JPEG, so I'll have the same name but .jpeg. If for some reason I need more than one size, I would put the same name 640 by whatever, or just 640.jpg, and then 125.jpg. I would put the size at the end of the name. You can either put in the name of the image what you want to use it for, or you can put the size. Either one of those will let you know, if you have multiple images that are very similar, which one it is you're looking for, without having to open all of them.
Now, do you want to click on the spot where they can actually save the name?
You've lost me.
Oh, do you change the name like as you're downloading it, or do you do it? I do it like in the little name field.
It has to stop saving.
I used to trigger that. I would click on the saving, and then it would trigger between private and public, and then it would finish saving.
Yeah, I'm hoping, well, maybe it's going to let me. If I save it as an image, it actually starts saving. And so it's preparing. And this is when it would tell you how much you're going to pay.
Okay.
It said that I used my own images, so it didn't cost me anything. So this is actually downloaded. It says click here to download, but Usually it's actually already downloaded. Oh, it is. See, it was already down there. So when I do it, I open them in, this is Windows Viewer. That's not how I usually open them. Open. Yeah, it's not letting me. I should have tested it before. I normally open them in GIMP. That way I can manipulate them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, in this case, it didn't let me choose the name. It just says the name is organic.ping.
I was just thinking that way if you wanted to change it in the actual name, then when it downloads it, it takes that name because it takes it from the name of the file there.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. I don't see any way for me to tell it what I want the name to be.
Like all the way to the left, right by the redo.
Redo this thing? Oh, right there.
Yep.
Oh, that's interesting. So you can change the name there. Very good. Yeah, see, what happens is with me is I download them, and then I save them, and when I save them, that's when I name them.
Okay, so you like it the way it normally works for you is you download them, you go and open it, opens in GIMP, and then you save it.
Yeah, mine actually open in GIMP normally. I don't normally use this computer when I do this work. I just have to use it to use audio for the Hangouts.
Gotcha, that makes sense. Okay, so what are some tips, some takeaway tips if we wanted to, like the best Canva tip that people can take away from this demonstration?
Okay, so some tips they need to know. Make sure you have the right size. Make sure that you don't have any of these boxes like that open on it when you're trying to download it. Make sure that it says saved up here before you download. But the coolest thing is you can go back into them and change them later. And so that, I think that's one of my favorite things. I think I have to go to my designs. Here we go. So these are my designs, things that I've done. And so I can actually open up any one of these and change it. Change the text, change the images. So you can take an image you already have and change it.
And if you wanted to keep the other one, you can copy.
Yes, you can copy by clicking this, make another one. And so that could be useful. Say that you're doing the social cafe and you want to do an image that's got like a template. It's got the same background or the same logo. And then you just make copies like that. And then you edit the copies. So you can make one for each week. And that just makes it a lot easier to create all of your great designs. I'm hoping that'll go back. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I went back to my designs. And so I actually do that sometimes. Sometimes it's a live event, and you'll have one image coming up to the event that says happening tomorrow. And then after it's over, you can change it. And you can see, like, I've got a bunch of them in here that that I was playing with.
I recognize those.
Did you see that one? Do you remember that one? So I made that one. This one I made for Pinterest because it's taller and it's more colorful, and I thought that color would work best on Pinterest.
Yes, in fact, that's loaded on the article that you wrote on my blog. So yeah, it's there.
Okay. All right, so that's my Pinterest version, and this is my Twitter version, and that is my other version. And so you can make various versions. You can mix and match images. Like this one, I actually made 5 circles and then changed the type in the middle of it. And so these are just kind of, I am not, there are better graphic designers than me. I mean, I don't.
But you get it done, Gail. A lot of people are sitting there waiting to get it done, and you actually get out there and get it done. Gail? Well, with that, thank you, Gail, for giving us a demonstration. We really appreciate all of the Canva tutorials, which there are more out there. If you search for Gail Gardner, GrowMap, and Canva, you'll find some of Gail's other tutorials, many of them associated with Social Web Cafe as well. Thank you, Gail, for joining us for Web Tools TV. And guys, join us. We'll have another CEO next week, and I will announce that on the web for the event, and same time, same place next week for Web Tools TV. Thank you.